Hey, look, y'all got to see this debate right here, man. This is funny. Check this one out right here, y'all. I know it's not our usual, but y'all got to check this out. If y'all don't know Mysonne, he's one of them. I think he used to be a battle rapper. Did some time in jail and all of that, but I believe he started fighting for the alphabet community, if you know what I'm talking about. And he's debating Marquette. Now, Marquette is very, very intellectual. Very intellectual guy, man. And I want y'all to see how this play out. Check it out, man. Hey, look. Hey, listen, y'all gonna want to stay for this one. Check this out, y'all. Check it out.
I pretty much traveled all over the world. I've been in every scenario that you can name. I've been in prison. I've been in college. I've been in the hood. I've been in the White House. I've been in every boardroom.
Damn, you been in the White House?
Yeah, I've been.
Would you mind telling us about that?
Well, I didn't go to the White House. They locked me out. I was invited to the White House, but they wouldn't let me because of my
I ain't even got an invite, bro. They ain't been invited me. You heard me?
Invites off the list because of the work that we doing in the community for anti-violence. We actually.
Well, you better than me because they damn sure ain't invited me. I don't think I'm gonna get an invite, but I just want to give you your respect on that because it's very prestigious. Carry on.
Yeah. So I've been pretty much around the world and I've learned, right? So when they say as a boy you think as a boy, but as a man you think as a man. So what happened for me is that I started to learn different things, right? So I grew up of, like you said, in the communities where we thought certain things, where we outcasted the gay person, we outcasted the people that weren't like us. We felt like we were dominant over women, right? And then I started to watch women make decisions that made more sense than the men that were supposed to be in control. I started to watch women actually, when we look at our communities and black men are in jail and they're leaving the women out here, the women at home taking care of kids, and the so-called leader, because of his emotions, because somebody stepped on his shoe, was shooting the dude. And his wife said, "What are you doing? Why would you go out there and shoot him?" Right? The woman was smart enough to know that was the dumbest thing in the world. We weren't able to do that. So I started watching.
We weren't able to do that. Now you got to understand Mysonne's background. He come from the background with brothers. They wasn't right. They wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? So this is him justifying why men need to hold women up like God or something like that. Nah. We men and women do work with each other, and women do have points. They do have intuition. I believe that wholeheartedly. But where he take it to is a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand the environment that he come from. Dudes wasn't right in their head. They was not right.
Women make decisions that were beneficial to the family and to the community. And I started to listen to women and started to see that my life was moving better than I was listening to overly emotional men who thought that their ego meant they had some level of power. So I understand that there was a balance, right? So I understand that I needed a woman who had the intellect and the foresight and the emotional intelligence to tell me that my ego should not supersede my intelligence. So that's what became a partner.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Men should not be driven by their emotions, overly driven by their emotions.
For me, because she possessed things that I needed for me to be great. And I possessed things that amplified her to grow to where she was. So it was a partnership. It was no hierarchy for me. So those are things that I learned. I also learned being around gay people. When I was so anti-gay, I never even talked to gay. When you start having conversations with gay people and start understanding that they're actually human beings. So
where were you talking to these people at?
I was in prison.
Now watch how far this go. This wasn't the debate wasn't even supposed to be about this. Now watch how you know how you let somebody speak for a long time, you understand what they're really thinking about, what's on their mind. We're going to continue. I ain't going to do no more pausing.
With gay people, right? I was in the street with gay people.
But you don't really not supposed to hang out with the punks like that. Like
you don't have to hang with the punks because most of the punks in jail are more thorough than the dudes that's not.
No, the punks. No, I agree with you on that one. I agree with you on that one. But what I'm asking you is like,
I'm explaining it to you. So when you're in the yard and you watch somebody come up and disrespect the punk, and the punk punch him in his face and beat him up like a man and have a conversation, you like, oh, And now you having a conversation. You're like, yo, listen, bro, I didn't choose how I am. This is who I am. If I could like women, I would love to like women. I just don't like women. The same way that you feel about a woman, I feel about a man. And just imagine if they made a law right now that said that you can't be a heterosexual man, and every heterosexual man gonna die. It's gonna stop you from wanting to have sex with a woman? Is it gonna change anything about
Are you asking me rhetorically, or would you like me to answer the question?
I want you to answer that question. And I want you to go into, I just want you to answer that question.
I will answer that question. I will go straight to jail because I was born heterosexual. Conversely, homosexuals are not born gay.
But see,
there's a study from the Johns Hopkins University says that there's no genetic evidence. So they're lying.
Okay, so if that's what they're lying, but I know people who have committed suicide because they was gay. So
that's because they were mentally ill.
Okay, so whatever.
They're mentally ill.
So they're born mentally, whatever it is. If you're born mentally ill, then you're born gay. If you're born mentally ill,
no, they're not born mentally ill. I didn't say that.
Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you, this is me and you are having a conversation from a perspective that neither one of us can speak about, because neither one of us.
No, I can't speak about it because the data. Because the data indicates that there's no genetics, meaning they weren't born that way.
They had data.
They're 3 times more likely that they were abused as a minor sexually.
They had
That's
data.
what the data says. Why don't you respect the data?
It's not that I don't respect the data, because I just don't all the way respect the data, because there was data that said that our brains were smaller than everybody. The data proves that, because we didn't have the largest brains on earth in Southern Africa. So, but they said that data said that we were naturally inferior to everybody. We didn't have the intelligence everybody. They had data to prove it. They had data for history. They had data that proved.
He said that they have data that proves that we are naturally inferior to everybody else. Bruh.
That we were 3/5 of a man. So I'm just trying to tell you,
they didn't have data to prove we're 3/5 of a man. But why?
He said they have data to prove that we're 3/5 of a man. Bro,
and the Skittle guzzlers, like, this is against our population growing.
All I want you to understand is I'm not gay, and you're not gay.
Wait, you've never had any sexual experience contact with a male?
Never, ever in my life. So what I'm trying to explain to you is,
okay, then why are you defending it so hard?
Because what I'm trying to explain to you is that when you are humanitarian and you understand that each human has his own individual. Right, I'm standing on my individual.
He said, "Why are you defending them so hard? Remember, Mysonne came from fighting with the BLM movement. He was always down with the BLM movement. Now, I ain't here to judge. We just here to react to it. But if you know, you know. With that movement, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
I want everyone to be the full version of them. And if 2 men love each other, that's their thing. I don't care about what that man wants to do with his penis. I love women. There's nothing that I could ever see that would make me attracted to a man ever in my life. So there's no reason.
What about, is there something that your son could see? Like your 2-year-old son could see that might influence him in an unfortunate way? You feel okay if your 2-year-old son is seeing this?
I don't feel okay. That's why I'm raising my son. I don't have a 2-year-old son. I have an 11-year-old son, a 14-year-old son,
I understand,
and a 27-year-old son, and I've raised my son as men, right? So that's not a thing that I'm worried about, because I've raised them in the tradition of manhood. And if for some reason that's not what they grow up to be, then that's what they've done. It's not my situation. I'm still a heterosexual man and gonna always be.
I'm just listen.
So you're tripping because there's.
I'm tripping because you said you were like indifferent, but you're really an ally. Like, you're a promoter of that stuff. It's crazy. Like, you're going hard for them right now. Like, that hurts me. So that hurts me. You giving me the thing is that you had a conversation, right? And you made all of these things, and you said, you're saying this because of this, and you're doing white women, and I'm explaining to you why I don't have any white women ideology. I'm explaining to you why I have lived life experience, right? And when you have lived life experience and you have conversations, you're around people of different ethnicities, different sexualities, and you actually listen and you learn.
I think his lip is in the way, bro. Notice when he talk, he be trying to tuck his lip in, bro. Bro, you is not avoiding that lip, boy.
Because you're intellectual and you actually want to learn from somebody, then you learn something different. I don't have to agree with someone's lifestyle for that to be their lifestyle. And that's the conclusion I came to. I came to the conclusion that me agreeing with your lifestyle does not make it not your lifestyle. It doesn't change who you are. So that's what I came to the conclusion as. I'm a heterosexual man. I surround myself by heterosexual men. I'm in the circumference of heterosexual men. I'm raising my children in tradition of heterosexual men. I have 3 sons, and I'm raising them to be heterosexual men. But I cannot tell somebody else what to be with their life. So when you have this conversation saying, well, you wouldn't have said this 20 or 30 years ago. No, because I didn't have the lived experience, and I was only going off somebody else. Listen. I was going off somebody else's perspective, right? And most people's perspective, and the people I was going on their perspective never left the Bronx. They never was in proximity of anybody else outside. They never even had a conversation with a gay person. So they didn't have an understanding.
That's probably better for them.
I mean, maybe it is. If that's your perspective, cool. You don't want to me personally, I want to learn from everything. I want to understand. I want to listen to you. I want you to give me your perspectives, because if I have your perspective, then I can give an educated prognosis of what actually I'm dealing with. If you feel like you don't want to do it, it's cool. I don't have to, but I understand the reality that we're dealing with. So what I'm saying is my ideology and the things that I believe are off my own lived experience. Nobody has ever taught me. I don't have no white woman. None of the women, men, no woman in my house even liked white women. My grandmother hated white women. My mother hated white women. So they didn't share the ideology of the white woman. They were anti everything. So when you come with that, it's so confusing to me, and I take it as a form of disrespect to me, because there's nothing in close proximity to me that even equates to white women liberal. There's nothing in close proximity. I've learned, right? I'm probably one of the most educated people in my family, because I've learned and I've experienced things that the average person did. And we'd have different ideologies today. Me and my brothers may have a different opinion about certain things, but my opinion is based off my own personal experience. So please stop equating any opinion that I have or thought process I have with anything that has to do with a white liberal woman. Because once again, I don't have anything to do with a white liberal woman, and it's disrespectful.
I understand why there is confusion, because what I'm saying is novel. It's an idea that very few people have heard. I say that Black women are liberal white women, and there are many other demographics that are liberal white women. And when I say this, it's the first time people have heard it, so I have to unpack it. And so I get that it's just shocking because it's the first time you've heard it. But what you describe as your education and your experience.
You got to know your history in order to know what he's speaking about. You know what I'm saying? So do your history before you start judging and you know, being like, oh, he don't know what he said. You got to know. Yeah, you got to understand what he's saying.
Is often it's not education, it's indoctrination. And so when you leave your community, your village, your tribe, your culture, and then sometimes you move up a little bit socioeconomically, the whites start to groom you into different ways of thinking and being, the liberal whites, because they're the ones who want to go in your midst. Conservative whites are outright racist. Many of them, they don't even want to be around you, but the liberal whites will get around you, and then they'll try to turn you from a Black person into a liberal white woman, and it happened without you even knowing. For example, I think it's peculiar that we have such little respect for ourselves that we think when we leave from around where we grew up, from the Bronx, from Los Angeles, from Compton, from Chicago, and we get around all these liberal white folks. Now we figured out the world. Now we can see. Now we understand. No. Now you've been exposed to great levels of filth and indecency and degeneracy.
So you've been exposed to different cultures.
What I would like to say, as one who has been exposed to many cultures, inside, and I didn't talk while you were talking again, sir.
You know when you getting cooked. When the person you debating start talking and you don't want to let them talk. You know you getting cooked, bruh.
I did not talk while you were talking, sir. I understand what you're saying, and I have the good fortune.
Hey, you tucking in that lip is not going to work either, boy.
That I, too, have been around many cultures. I filled up 4 passport books. I've been to more countries than anyone I know, and maybe more than most of the people you know, including the politicians. And I probably know a lot of the politicians that you know. You know, I know your mayor, Bloomberg, who was mayor for some time, billionaire. I know a lot of the folks you know, ones who have run for president and failed. That's how I know they're wicked. So when we talk about going around the world and getting cultured, well, let me talk about the world. If you travel through the 54 countries of Africa, that's a hell of a lot of countries. You could fit America, the continent, North America. You could fit Europe and China in the continent of Africa. That's a lot of countries.
Yep.
And overwhelmingly, they say that to live that lifestyle is filthy and unacceptable. You go through the Middle East, which is rising up rapidly. UAE and Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Oman, they all agree that kind of behavior is destructive for the public morality.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
You go to Singapore. Yep. The architect of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, says, oh, this doesn't seem like a good idea. He's a pretty...
This how they get you to agree with them in the beginning. When God starts saying, yeah, look, long as they keep it over there, they ain't bothering me. Listen, it's going to trickle over to you, bro. It's going to trickle right over to you. Them other countries still stand on their morals, bro.
Smart guy. You go to China, they have entire policies against what they call the lady boys, the effeminate males, and they try to push off the culture that has been popularized by those South Korean pop singer bands where the guys look like girls. And that all started with an Asian immigrant in America who was very wealthy and used to fund these people and make them look like females or children, young boys, because he was a pederast. Huh? Now, here's the funny thing. There's only one place you can go on the planet Earth. There's only one group of countries you can go to on the planet Earth. Where they tell you that a man laying with a man, oh, let it go. Woman laying with a woman, live and let live. That would...
What place is that, y'all? What place is that?
Be Western Europe, not even Eastern Europe, Western Europe, where the people are loose and slack and sick. They're perverts. That's a Western European sickness that you have caught as a black African or as a black human. That's not our culture. That's not the culture of the red man. That's not the culture of the Arab. That's not the culture of the black. That's the culture of the liberal Western white person. Again, you're interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. This is time number 5. And I always warn the audience when that truth start getting out, that's when they start interrupting.
Because once again, you're telling me what I've been infected with.
Like, I know what you've been infected with because what you tried to say, one second, what you tried to say is that once one gets experience and they get exposed to different peoples and different cultures, then all of a sudden they think that it's okay for a man to go up another man's backside. As long as it's not bothering anybody. And I just told you that I've been to more countries than I can name. I've lived in foreign countries. I've opened businesses in foreign countries. I have more experience than most of the politicians you probably are getting paid by. I know the world. No one can lie to me about this world.
God damn! Oh my God! I got more experience than the politicians you getting paid by. God, Lee. God.
Been through it. So with that being the case, it's not experience that opens you up to filth. Now, here's my problem with what you said earlier. This is why it's so problematic.
Hey, look, my son don't know what to do. He don't know what to do but tuck in his lip. That's all he know what to do. That's all he know is let me tuck in my lip.
You try to tell me accept what they say and accept what they do because like you, they were born this way. And then I tell you, I have a master's degree from the Johns Hopkins University, which is the foremost institution in medicine and science on the whole planet Earth. And Johns Hopkins put out a study that is peer reviewed and it points out 2 major findings. Number 1, there is no gay gene whatsoever. So it's not genetic. They weren't born that way. And then number 2, it says that the overwhelming majority of these people have been abused as minors sexually. Okay. 3 times the rate. And in addition, you had mentioned one of them offing themselves. I think it's tragic. It's utterly tragic. But the reason that they take their lives is because they're mentally unwell. The worst thing you can do with someone who is sick is pretend as though they're not sick. Then the sickness eats them till there's nothing left. So what I propose to do is stop lying to them and telling them that they're okay and that it's normal. Tell them the truth. Tell them that they're sick and see if we can find a solution so they don't continue hurting themselves. Marquette, what's the data on that? Yet another study from Johns Hopkins. And there's anecdotal stuff too. But check this out. The data indicates that those who are post-op Those who say that they're transgender, born in the wrong body. I always felt this way my whole life since I was a kid, born in the wrong body. After they get the surgery to mutilate their bodies, you have a higher rate of them taking their life. Now, why do you have that? Because now they're in the correct body. The reason you have that is because in their sick mind, they thought that once they cut off their manhood, they feel like a woman. But there's still thousands of genes that say you are not a woman. But most importantly, there's still some trouble in their mind. There's turmoil in their mind that will not be healed by mutilating your own body.
Dang! He coming with the knowledge, the facts. He said when they transform their body, they think they're going to be whole. Like, oh, yeah, I've made it. No, he said the chances of them offing themselves is higher when they mutilate their body and get rid of the thing. Dang.
And that's why they still take themselves out. And the data indicates that it's a mental health issue. And they're not born mentally ill. Many of them, it's environment, it's reaction to trauma, inability to get over it.
Wow.
So that's why I address it, because it is a great sickness that is spreading through the land like a pestilence. And that's all I have to say about the Skittle Guzzlers. We don't have to get into it. I'm responding to you because you went pretty hard about them. Really, and now I just gave my response to the Skittle Guzzlers, and we don't have to talk any more about the Skittle Guzzlers.
To you. So first of all,
remember, this debate wasn't supposed to be about this. When you let somebody speak, they're going to tell you what's on their mind. It's either indoctrination or you speaking that truth, standing up for the people. He let Mysonne speak, and this went somewhere else. He went as far as, hold on, let me make sure I'm ready. Hold on.
We never even had a conversation about trans because I understand trans, so I can't even give you that, right? I want to ask you this. Have you ever seen a homosexual person stop being homosexual?
Yes, sir. There's a famous one. His name is Little Richard. He lived his life as a degenerate, and then he gave his life over to God. Now, mind you, I don't promote slave religion. I don't promote it at all. But he gave his life over to God, and then he explained that he knew he was wrong when he did that, and he never looked back once he stopped doing that, and that's public record. And he's a famous person that we can both use as a reference point. Do you mind if I acknowledge some of the points, some of the people who have sent in their comments or question?
Okay,
I'm just doing.
Bruh, he went as far as saying that Minister Louis Farrakhan is backing that up, y'all. Check this out. This is wild right here. This is nasty work.
And in some cases, they did give it, and then they stole the land back as a point of fact. So the idea that you have to go with your hand out, I think, is pathetic. If you look at certain wars, like maybe the Crusades, for example, or even you look at the Moors that have taken the Black Moors, took over Southern Europe. Did the Europeans say, hey, give us reparations? They said, no, we're going to rebuild and we're going to go to war with you and we're going to expel you and we're going to take control and we're going to dominate you. We're going to steal your history and in some cases erase your history. But we don't need a handout. We're going to take ours back. And I'll give you one last example. You mentioned Adolf Hitler earlier, and like strangely, you were saying that, he ruled with his mind. You also forgot that he ruled with blitzkrieg and a tremendous amount of violence that the world had never seen before. Factor that in. And what I want you to understand about the Germans is when they were destroyed in World War I at a level, and they were facing huge levels of inflation and poverty and shame, just like the Black people, poverty, shame. They said, you know what? I tell you what. We don't need anything from you people. We're going to rebuild because we believe in ourselves and we're going to make you respect us. And if you don't want to respect us, we're going to take our respect. I would never identify with you or the community you're talking about because my community, the Black people I lead, the good people I lead of all races, we're a strong people. We're a capable people. We're a proud people. And if we're owed something, we're going to take it. You heard me? If we're owed respect, we're going to take it. If we're owed money, we're going to take it. As men, we won't be begging. And I can assure you, there's no ear to your begging.
Well, it's not about begging.
Woo! There's no ear to our begging. We always say, yeah, we about to do this. We about to do that. We about to march and ain't nobody going to do nothing. Ain't no changes going to be made. Ain't no ear to your begging.
And it's about reparations owed for harm done.
If you're not begging.
How long we been asking for the 40 acres and the mule? How long we been begging for that? We still ain't got no land.
Then take it. Why don't you have it then? If you're not begging, why don't you have it?
We live on land. We in enemy's territory, and we've been indoctrinated into the enemy's territory.
We have been indoctrinated.
It's not we. It's not me. So what happened? So why haven't the people like you who haven't been taking it back? Because there's a bunch of y'all. I always have these conversations.
Right as we speak. I'm on 62 acres of land.
Damn. That brother said, as we speak, I'm on 62 acres of land. God dang. Hey, look.
Conversations, and I know a bunch of people that got land, and they got about 20 or 30 of them. But I'm talking about the collective of black. It's 48 million people, black people inside of America. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about when you can galvanize half of them or 2/3 of them.
Only need 5%.
Okay, if you can galvanize 5% of them, we've been having this conversation with people saying we don't need this from the government. And all the time, none of those people who have said it have done anything to do it. And when they do,
no, that's not true. You ever heard of the Nation of Islam? You ever heard of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Yes,
they did great things. They had farmland, they had stores. In fact, New York was a major epicenter for this thing, and they did extremely well. But I tell you, when they got poisoned when Malcolm X became you. When Malcolm X started espousing the views of the white liberal, and when he started working with the government. Ooh. And he betrayed his own people because he left the core of what black folks are. That's when the movement fell apart, when we were infiltrated.
Well,
so you lie, and you suggest that we have never been able to separate from the government and thrive. The Nation of Islam separated from the government and thrived very well.
I love the Nation of Islam. I've been raised underneath the honorable minister, so I know what's going on within the nation.
But if you were raised under the brother minister Louis Farrakhan, you would know that the Skittle guzzling is a vile abomination, and you wouldn't tap dance when I ask you, are you indifferent, against it, or an ally? So brother minister Louis Farrakhan would condemn something like that. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I've heard it myself in Mosque Mariam in Chicago.
When the last time you heard the minister speak? When is the last time you have heard a conversation?
It's been years.
Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about.
I do, because it's enshrined in a book by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad called Message to the Black Man.
What I'm explaining to you is that I've sat in hundreds of the ministers speaking, and the last time the minister spoke about the homosexuality, he made it clear that he has nothing against him. He understands him. He got him in his family. He's saying that we just live a different way, and we understand. We're not anti them. We're not trying to kill them. We're not doing all that.
I'm not trying to do that either. That's crazy.
So that's what I'm trying
to say. That's mentally ill as well.
So when you're having this conversation saying,
ain't nobody say nothing about unaliving our people because of their preferences. Ain't nobody doing all of that.
He despised. That's none of that language that you're using does the minister use.
Where can I want to pull up a video on that one.
But the Bible says to pray for those people. You got to pray for them people. Pray for them.
Can I pull up a video on that one? I want to, because I don't believe you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't believe that.
Okay, pull it up.
I'm asking you, can you tell me like what I should search to find such a video? Because I don't believe that.
Okay, so you look. All you got to do is look for it. He spoke on it. It's online.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a simple YouTube search, and I want everyone to watch this so no one thinks that I'm trying to like cook the results or anything like that. So I'm just gonna type in Minister Farrakhan, and I'm gonna just type in the word homosexual or homosexuality maybe. Okay, and then I'm going to click the share screen. Okay, so here we go. And so all I typed in was Minister Farrakhan homosexuality.
Those are old, and once again, I told you.
Hey, look. He don't want him to play it.
Okay, I'm just explaining to everyone what I did, so it doesn't seem as though I'm trying to same-sex create a particular perspective. So I'm going to do two things, if you don't mind. He's old right here, and he's young right here. So I'm just going to click this one, and we'll listen, and then I'll click this one. So here's a young Minister Farrakhan, and here's an old Minister Farrakhan. Do you mind if we just listen to each of them briefly?
Okay.
Okay, very good. And in the audience, if you can confirm, were you able to hear him?
By nature is inclined to.
Can you hear him?
Yes, I am fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the volume's good. Okay, fantastic.
Man by nature is inclined to and leans toward the female. and the female by nature leans toward the male. Now we want to know whence came this deviation.
Hello.
Listen very carefully.
I'm listening.
The Bible says he changed the truth of God into a lie. And when you pervert the truth of God and make it a lie, then what follows from that is a system of perversion, a system of deviation. We didn't learn this freakish behavior in Africa. You cannot find brothers in Africa.
Understand, when you start something, it spreads. When you start something, it spreads. All this, don't worry about what they doing over there. Don't worry about what they, once you do that, once you have that mindset, they got you. For instance, in the Bible, it says they seek to change times and seasons. That spread, now we accept it willingly. What is that called? Daylight savings time. Y'all don't wonder, like, we not supposed to have no daylight savings and now we get dark all of a sudden. That's not natural. Why do we accept that so much? Is because it started small and now it's spread it out. Now everybody just accept it. This is why we come out and speak like this against this type of stuff, because 10 years from now, hey, look, I'm telling you, it sounds small. We shouldn't be worried about them and all of that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay.
Africa walking around with broken wrists.
I said that earlier.
You don't find women in Africa running with women. We learned that behavior.
From who?
In our sojourn in America.
That part.
So since we learned this behavior, we can unlearn it.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut that because I think we get the gist of that one. And I'm, as promised, I'm gonna go back. So that was young Farrakhan. Here's old Farrakhan. So I'm just got that right there. And it says the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on Black homosexuality. And then I'm just gonna click play here.
I love you as a brother. I love you as a sister. But the love of the same sex for one another that's rooted in righteousness is wonderful. But when we
rooted in righteousness, if two brothers, hey, look, how you doing, brother? Nice to meet you. That's a love. Two sisters, hey, how you doing, sis? Hey, you my sisters. Rooted in righteousness. Rooted in righteousness. Hey, look, that's why we need the Bible, bro. We can't, once we have our own thoughts, it's a wrap. It's done. It's a wrap.
take it to the extreme, which Satan has caused us to do now, we have gone to the extreme. Under the tutelage of a real satanic mind.
Okay.
When you go to the extreme and you become you are under the influence and the tutelage of Satan, that's when it goes to shit.
Okay. So I'm now going to stop that one because we've heard enough. And I'm just going to repeat for everybody who didn't get it. When he was young, he said, this is not of us.
Mm-hmm.
This is wicked. And then I just play one when he's clearly old. He says, if you do that, you're under a satanic mind.
That's not what he said at first.
Oh, dang! He's destroyed.
You ignored what he said? So you ignored what he said at the beginning?
What?
So what? You ignored what he said? So hold
on. Wait.
I'm just asking you, did you ignore?
Did you understand what he was saying? He said the natural love that we have for the same gender in a righteous way, meaning like I have love for you as my fellow man. No. He says that is appropriate, but when you take it beyond that, meaning inappropriate, homosexual, now you have a satanic mind. That's what he said.
No, sir.
Wow. I want you to explain briefly, and I'm gonna replay it, and you can re-explain it. Just tell
I've been there. I've been in the mosque, bro. You can't tell me.
I've been in the mosque.
I've been in these recent conversations. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the recent conversations that he has had.
No. Tell me what he just said just now, because I was listening. I'm gonna play it again because like you're playing games. Like that's crazy. Like I'm gonna play this again. Tell me what the brother is saying, because you're trying to reinterpret, and that's what liberals do. They lie.
I love you as a brother.
I love you as a brother, so that means not romantic.
I love you as a sister.
Not romantic.
But the love of the same sex for one another that's rooted in righteousness is wonderful.
What does that mean?
I want you to explain.
If the love is rooted in righteousness, if my friend, my brother, my friend, my sister, my friend, righteousness is what God said. That's your brother in righteousness. But
I want you to explain that, because I've been feeling like you're misunderstanding.
No,
what does that mean?
Because I'm trying to tell you. He said,
what does that mean?
He's saying that he understands that that's their reality. It's rooted in righteousness.
No, use the words he used and then explain it to me.
Let me play the one that I know.
No, don't play the one you know. We had the brother on the screen. I'm asking you to explain based on what he just said.
He's trying to find his own video. He's trying to find his own video.
Why are you running? Wait, my son, like we just played the brother Minister Louis Farrakhan in his own words. Why are you running? I'm just saying, why not just explain to me what he just said? Because I got great English language comprehension.
Come here, bro. Where you going?
Why are you? What are you doing? We didn't agree to that. Like, why are you?
No, because you're trying. Because you're pulling up something that doesn't go.
Wait, hold on. You said I'm pulling up something. I literally just typed in the query in front of everyone's eyes.
Is sin according to the standard of God.
People are saying that you're lying on the minister right now.
I'm not lying.
Your facts.
Well, then why can't we look at what he just said? Why do you have to go like search out something like he just spoke up?
Brother, I'm just trying to tell you this.
Hey, yo.
What the minister has said.
Hey, bro.
You don't have to tell me that. We just played his face. I'm saying, tell me the minister said this, and these words mean X, Y, and Z. So I'm saying, like, quote him and then explain to me, because I understand English is my first language and I'm very good with it. I'm telling you, so how did I miss this?
What I'm explaining to you is that the minister has said this is not our way of life, and we believe that it's against the will of God, but he is not against you, and you are his brother and you are his sister. And that's what he said. And that is exactly what I was explaining to you. My way of life and your way of life is not the way I live. The way I live is not something that I live for me, but I'm not against you as my brother or sister. And I do not have anything against you because you live outside.
Hey, somebody said, if you following the King James version of the Bible, you're following a homosexual demonologist that not only hates women, but had his own mother beheaded. Hey, bro. This is stuff that I don't even. Hey, look. Why would the King James say, love your wife as you love yourself, as Christ loved the church? Why would they say that? Why would the King James version tell you to not eat pork? Why would the King James tell you to do stuff that benefits you and your health? Why would he do that? That's why I don't argue with people like this, bro. I don't argue with people like this.
Out of the way that I live. And that's what he has said. The same thing that I said.
If that's what he was saying, why did you feel the need to not analyze the video that I just played of him speaking out of his own mouth?
Because I've heard the words that he spoke out of his mouth, and I was trying to let you hear the words that I've heard. So we don't have a miscommunication.
We were just playing his words, so we don't need to go based on your memory. We don't have to go based on my memory.
Right. You played 30 seconds of a 10-minute conversation, and you said that's all you need to hear.
We can go back and play more of it, because I can assure you I already know how it goes.
Okay.
Because the brother minister Louis Farrakhan has never once said that being a homosexual is okay. He, in fact, just stated that it's satanic. And we honestly don't even have to be on this topic, because I said six times.
Said that. He said it was okay. I said
six.
Now, they didn't even have to be on this topic, but we spent enough time on there. That's all I wanted. I did want to do something different today. You know what I'm saying? If you felt offended, hey, look, man, we can't have this destruction for our people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not telling you to go out and hate nobody. And that's not what the brother is saying. You know, he's saying protect yourself. That's all we got to do is protect ourselves. That's not of the Lord. You know, most of us have family members that chose that path in life. You know, not saying go hate nobody, and we could all respectfully agree to disagree. You know, all agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Look, somebody said, look it up. Shalom. Hey, shalom. I love it too. But yeah, for everybody who disagree, it's all good. It's all love. I still love my people. I still love my people. You know, and this is healthy. It needs to be talked about. So the you know, the truth could be out there. This needs to be talked about, y'all. You know, hey girl. Shalom, everybody. I finally made a live. Yeah, we keep getting this good connection like this. We're gonna always go live. We're gonna keep going live. That they got you if your mind's stuck. I see a little debate going on in the comment section. But yeah, I just wanted to hit y'all with that. I seen Kwame Brown go over this video. I was like, damn, let me go live and do it. You know what I'm saying? I just thought this was a nice, healthy debate, you know? And the acronym for Bible is basic instructions before leaving earth. That's what I was taught, right? So when people say like, oh, you following the King James, he was this, he was that. There was a narrative pushed on King James by somebody, I forget his name, but he went into how he was, you know, he put all these types of lies on King James. But the way you combat that is like, what do the words in the Bible say? What do it say in there? Why is this saying this, but in America, out in the world, they telling me to do evil? Why is it pork everywhere, which is unhealthy for my body? Scientists know it. We know it. Give you gout later on and swollen ankles and all of that stuff. So why in the Bible is telling me not to eat this stuff? It's an abomination to my body. Why is the Bible telling me to do stuff that's going to help me live better? Love my neighbor as I love myself. Why is he saying this stuff? I don't argue with nobody. Hey, look, the white man wrote that book. I don't argue with nobody like that. That's not what we here. That's not why I'm here for. I'm here just to spread it out to the people that's going to receive it. If you're not going to receive it, that's on you. That's you. Hey, okay. I did what I was supposed to do, Father. Did what I was supposed to do. You know, he gives the increase anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to, you know, give some of that water out. Sprinkle some of that water. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this debate. I like this debate right here. But yeah, Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all. Shout out to everybody who showed up too. Shout out to Lord Angel. She said, I hope we move on from this conversation. You're gonna be all right, sweetheart. You're gonna be all right. Trust me. You're gonna be all right. I finally made it live. Who else we got up in here? Rocky, McGee, William. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody who disagreed. Shout out to, you know, it's all love. That's it. We need conversations like this. And what it does, it builds character, and it also gets you out of your emotions. It gets you out of that state of being so comfortable. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Monique Quinn. I can't pronounce some of these names. The culture of the Hebrew versus Greek. I don't know. But yeah, shout out to everybody who showed up. Noah King, shout out to you, Noah King. Shout out to New Nation. Shout out to everybody who showed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going, y'all.